The running theme throughout this short INFACT talk is how can the raw materials defined as critical to the sustainable functioning of the European economy be sourced and extracted in a socially and environmentally acceptable way in Europe. The talk moves from the notion of resource nationalism and a circular economy through to the challenges of raising investment in Europe and the importance of projects that actively contribute to a local economy. 4 questions are asked. 1. How have the attitudes towards in-country projects altered in Europe? Secondly, how can the extractive sector in Europe contribute to a circular economy? What issues do junior and mid-tier companies face in terms of sourcing finance? And finally, how important is it to deliver the promises made at the exploration stage?
We also take responsibility for obtaining those resources from the earth in the first place. So if we're going to use copper and we're sitting on top of copper, we should mine it ourselves in our own country rather than go to a developing country and let them have the big hole in the ground. It's a more responsible thing to do to mine it in your own backyard if you're the ones who are going to be using it. People say that mining is unsustainable, but the circular economy, of course, shows how it can be sustainable, that all the metals that come out of the ground continue to be used. They stay on the surface, and so that's sustainable, and their utility is sustained as well.
It's still very difficult to finance junior companies in any of the capital markets.
Much of the exploration is done by the juniors who are raising risk capital, and they are wanting to advance their projects. They want to be able to tell their investors that the monies that they have been given are being invested, things are moving forward. So investment really is, in the minds of many of them, an expression of the ability to advance a project.
Get these projects set up in the right frame of mind for local stakeholders, you're really going to face problems down the road. And that comes from either promising too much and setting up expectations of communities and local governments who are going to have to live up to those, are going to demand those expectations be met unfairly, or if you don't make any effort to engage with the community from the first day to take care of local supplying opportunities, local hiring. If you don't get that right off the bat, you set up a precedent for the project to fail.
Ultimately, the EU's mineral policy should be aligned with and promote good international industry practice. There should be acknowledgement that while Europe has huge potential, some areas, despite their resource potential, are non-exploitable, and that we should learn to live with less and lower consumer demand.